Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Kevin Lee Show. Today is going to be a little bit different of an episode than we've been doing recently. As you know, we've been doing these movie reviews, and today's no different. We actually did a movie review, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. But before we start, I want to talk to you about something. Most people who are watching these videos are probably aware of who my brother John is. He was kind of the reason why we started these movie reviews in the first place. He was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer about 8 months ago. And so we wanted to do a project that we could do together, something that he would love, something we can do to kind of get him out of the house and looking forward to doing things. And this seemed to be a perfect match for it. So we did that. And, well, needless to say, my brother's not with us anymore. He passed away almost a week and a half, 2 weeks ago almost, on September 5th. So I just wanted to, put that out there, that he's no longer with us. But we are going to continue to do these videos.
He's still with us in spirit, though.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to continue to do these videos like we are today. And in fact, in honor of my brother, I, in a weird way, stumbled across a list he had on IMDb, where I guess apparently if you make an account, which nobody does, but apparently if you make an account, you can actually record and put up like whatever your favorite movies are and make your own lists. And he happened to make a list of his top favorite 52 movies, which actually is kind of cool because if you think about it, there's 52 weeks in a year. And because of that fact, we are going to be doing 52 weeks or a year's worth of reviews of John's favorite movies. Now, obviously, none of those are recent movies, but that's okay. And we're going to start that sometime in the near future, probably next week or two. And actually, I think we're probably going to do them week in, week out, mixed in with some other new reviews as well. And we'll have those events posted ahead of time so everyone knows what they are.
Yeah, so you guys watch the movies also, and then comment on them, and then we'll talk about those comments when we do our shows.
Definitely. Chris, anything you want to add?
No, Scott covered it just as I was going to say it.
Okay, so we have that out of the way. But yes, we're leaving John's chair open for today in honor of him, and you'll see his picture up on the screen from time to time. But today we did review a movie. We did go see a movie, and we're going to review it. It was The Hitman's Bodyguard. But before we get there, as always, we're going to do our trailers. And we have, I believe, 6 or 7 of them for today. I actually have to pull up my list. But make a long story short, I wasn't too excited about any of them, to be honest with you. The first one was about, I think it was called Mark Felt, correct? Is that right? I wrote it down. Mark Felt, and he was, I guess, I don't know if he didn't run the FBI at the time, did he?
Oh, this is Watergate.
It's the Watergate guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Deep Throat. Deep Throat.
Oh, it was Deep Throat.
He was supposedly Deep Throat. What a waste of a movie.
What does that mean?
Like anybody cares.
Anybody cares.
Nobody cares.
Oh, I care.
Do you really?
I was alive in the 70s. My dad had to explain it to me because even my father, who was a diehard Republican, could not come to grips with why Nixon was not in prison for what he was doing. Because he embarrassed the entire country. He did something that, he was caught doing something that no other president had been caught doing before, using the government to...
spy on himself?
No, he wasn't spying on himself. He was spying on the Democrats to make sure the Democrats couldn't win the next election when he was up for re-election.
Right, his own ego got to him.
Well, yeah, but there should have been men along the way who said, no, you can't do these things. And apparently there wasn't in his administration.
No, they're the yes men for a reason.
Well, from what I understand, there actually were people, but it was more like they would say they weren't going to do something, and then they were fired or made to resign. And then he replaced them with the next man up, and then finally someone would do his bidding or whatever. But yeah. I don't know all the details of that. But in the movie,
we're having something like that go on right now.
Let's not get off the track here. We can do a political... I'd be more than happy to do a political podcast, but we'll do one completely on its own. But as far as the movie goes, Mark Felt is played by Liam Neeson, which is so funny because, not that he's funny, but when I saw him on screen, even though he looked like a kind of an old man in the movie, well, all I could think of is that, oh my God, they made another Taken.
Yeah, right.
Like he's a grandpa now.
He's
To his
grandpa
grandkids.
Taken?
I don't know.
Well, he is like
Dude, that's going to
61
come
years old.
eventually, you know.
Yeah, it's got to.
Yeah.
So, but apparently the movie is about Watergate and it could be interesting. But the second one, surprisingly, is one that I'm actually a little interested to at least see, and that is the movie Marshall, which is about, was it Thurgood Marshall?
Yes, that actually looked really good, too.
I don't know if it was just the way that the trailer was made, but the movie itself looks very, very interesting. Do you want to expand on that?
Well, it seems to be about like one period in his life when he was, you know, during the early 60s, and you know, fighting for the righteousness of the black community down in the South, and yeah, it looked really interesting. I didn't really actually know, because he's Chief Justice now, right? Isn't he a Chief Justice?
No.
Who is he?
Well, he was
he's
on the
dead.
Supreme. Well, he's deceased. No, yeah.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the name. I don't. But he was a Chief Justice, right, or something?
Well, he was. Yeah, I believe he was. He was, or I don't know if he's Chief Justice, but he was a justice.
But it's about how he fought through racism to get to a place in life just to be a lawyer and be respected as a human being, you know, as opposed to him rising up to the Supreme Court.
Right. This was everything that made him the man he was, that eventually he ended up on the Supreme Court.
And the people who stood by him who also had to suffer through the same process. But it was all for the greater good in the end.
Yes, absolutely. And he got the little snowman beat up. What was his
Yes,
name?
he did.
Who was in the movie Frozen? Who's that snow? The little damn snow guy. I can't think of his name. But anyways, he got beat up. Pretty good.
Okay.
Opal? No, it's some.
No, I don't know. Anyways, so does anyone else want to add anything to that? I mean, it looked interesting. I would definitely see the movie. I see most movies, but I would definitely see that movie.
Yeah,
But-
I'm on board.
No, I would see it. I would definitely
I'm on board
go
with
for
that
it.
one.
Okay, so now that this next one will take a little bit longer to talk about.
Olaf.
Probably Olaf. There you go. Very good. The next movie is going to be American Made.
Yes.
American Made is a movie starring Tom Cruise,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Chris's favorite actor.
Dude, I think you're taller than him.
He might be,
No, I think Tom Cruise is 5'7" and I'm 5'5".
but he wears lifts.
Yeah, he does.
Allegedly.
And he ain't 5'7". He's like 5'6" and a quarter or an eighth.
Anyways, Chris, would you like to talk about the movie?
No, well, it's just about how the character that Tom Cruise plays, I forget the dude's name, but he became a gun runner for the CIA and running guns for Contra and a whole bunch of other nasty kind of jungle-dwelling groups to overthrow governments during the
Well, he ran the cocaine.
mid-60s to the mid-70s and running cocaine as well. They traded the cocaine for the guns.
The Ron Contra affair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it, yeah. And speaking about the war on drugs and how that all started, that's a big part of it, actually. So I'm interested to see how the movie's take on that, if it has any take at all.
Right, because at one point, the Medellin guy. What is that? What's that guy?
The who?
Medellin, the cartel leader. Other people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the world's biggest drug cartel at that time.
Yeah, he's got that own show on Netflix, Narco. I just can't think of his name right now.
Oh yeah. I've seen an advertisement for it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, thanks to the CIA, he's in that position, so.
All right. So the movie actually starts out in the trailer that he's a former, I think, military pilot, and he ends up becoming like an airline pilot.
Yes.
And his life is boring, but it's safe and it's simple. And then for whatever reason, this guy, who I believe is from the CIA, at least that's what they allude to in the trailer, shows up at his front door and says, hey, wouldn't you want to do something, help out the U.S. government, and you can make money and do all these things. And it's exciting. He wants to do it. They show scenes of his wife being upset, not sure if he should be doing it, but he does it anyways. And then it just kind of escalates from there. And apparently it involves a lot of shooting and violence and potential death and blah, 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 blah.
Being held at gunpoint.
Yeah, exactly. So, it seemed like it could be a very interesting movie. And, so at least the trailer did its job, made it look interesting. It was set up well. And I was pretty excited to want to see that movie, I think.
I think so.
Seems like you have a lot of action, a lot of fun stuff in it.
A lot of action. I just want to see the accountability for the government, how that plays out. Because in reality, since I lived through the 70s and the 80s, it really didn't seem that the government got... they didn't even get a slap on the wrist for what they did. It's like, well, this is business as usual. You guys don't want to ask us, so we won't tell you.
They still don't get slapped on the wrist for anything.
Yeah.
No, they don't. So next movie for a preview that we saw, or trailer we saw, was for Jumanji.
Yeah.
And I think we actually talked about this one a while back. They've been showing this actually same trailer, I think, for a while. And for any of you who don't know what it's about, it's not the original Jumanji, obviously, with Robin Williams and all that. This is a updated version where it is some kids who are being like in detention, get stuck in a like a utility room, and they have to clean it or whatever. They come across this old, for whatever reason, there's an old video game system in there. They plug it in and decided that we were going to play this game to waste some time or whatever. And they have to choose avatars for the game, so they choose them, and all of a sudden they're sucked into the game, and they're in this whole new world. And it's starring like
it looked like ColecoVision, right? It looked like the old ColecoVision where you'd slip the card in and it had the push board on it.
Yeah, it could be. It was starring Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, Jack Black. Who else was in there?
I know that tall redhead.
The comedian.
Yeah.
Kevin
Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Great.
He was in there. Yes, and it had Karen Gillian, I believe her name is.
Yes, it is.
Very
and
nice.
then I don't know. There was someone else. One or two other. I don't know. There was one or two other people I didn't recognize so much. But those are the kind of, I guess, the main people.
Yes.
The concept is very interesting. I could totally imagine myself watching that movie.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't think of it as Jumanji. Like when I think Jumanji, I can only think of the whole
Robin Williams version.
I guess maybe they just figured if they put this name on there, it might attract more people or get some of the parents or older school people to come see it. But
the name Jumanji.
Right, exactly,
Yeah.
right. I mean, I don't think it really is. I mean, the game, and I think the video game itself is called Jumanji, and that's how they, but beyond that, it really isn't. Because I think in Jumanji, that world comes into our world versus this going into their world, right? The original Jumanji, remember, like, because they're in that big house.
Well, it does both, doesn't the Robin Williams disappears into the board game
Into
as
the
a
board game,
young child.
yeah, and then when the kids start playing or they open it back up, it's already kind of in
Like
play.
20 years
so
later.
the door like reverses itself and everything in Jumanji kind of.
Apparently, I never saw Jumanji. Just scenes of it. Only scene I remember is him and a bunch of kids inside a house being chased by like animals, like snakes, but I mean that's all I remember seeing. So I never saw anything else. I must have not seen the whole movie.
Well, I think that's the second half of that first movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that's what I probably saw. Most movies that I've seen is like a clip or a portion of a movie.
And then the hunter guy with the old gun, elephant gun chasing him.
Not a clue.
Good movie.
Well, that's interesting.
What's that?
Karen Gillian, I'm looking at her profile here, and it says that she is in Avengers Infinity War, and then some untitled Avengers movies. So I'm wondering if it's like a crossover between Guardians of the Galaxy into like the Marvel Universe, with Captain America and that crew.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe.
this is stuff coming out in the future, or this is stuff
It
that's on
says,
Netflix? Or
well,
something?
it says she is Nebula, which is the same character in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2.
Right.
And she's playing the same character in both of the Avengers movies. One's in post-production and one is filming. So I bet you it's some type of crossover.
That stinks. This would be a perfect time for John to tell
Yeah,
us
he'd
what
be
we
going
don't
nuts.
understand right now.
Yeah,
He would be 4 steps ahead of us. Definitely.
he wouldn't stop talking.
So Jumanji seems interesting. It seemed funny at the very least. And it would be kind of like you jumping into a video game and get to be whatever character you want with the video game powers that you might have, like super speed or ability to like throw fire or do something weird. So it seemed interesting.
I would be in Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
As long as you're Mike Tyson.
Yes.
Yeah, the one-hit wonder.
What a hit.
So that's Jumanji. Next we have, and I'm going to let Scott talk about this one because he knows a lot more about it than I do, and that's the movie Justice League.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've only seen those same trailers. It looks pretty interesting.
Well, right, but you understand the background more. Like I don't have a comic book upbringing. I don't understand the whole worlds of between DC and Marvel and all that. And
Well, I still only remember it from being like the way back in the day with the cartoon and Saturday morning. But yeah, no, everything looks really, really killer, graphic wise. Kind of interesting to find out. You know, they're leading to some mysterious person coming back. So at the end of Superman and Batman, it's been a while since I watched it. Do we put him back in the ground? Is he dead again? Superman?
Yeah, Superman was at the end of that movie.
He's dead.
He was dead and buried.
Yes. So he's gonna pull a Spock on us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a problem.
No, not at all. We can't kill off Superman. Come on. I do kind of find it interesting, you know. And at the end of the day, you know, Superman, Batman is just a man.
A very rich man.
Yes,
But yes.
with good technology. You know, the only one with better technology than him that's a man is Iron Man.
Yes.
So it looks good. Looks good so far. Can't wait to see it. I got to watch some more trailers. I've only seen the two. Wasn't it like Thor and Hulk go against each other in one of the trailers?
Isn't that Thor Ragnarok?
Oh, you're right. Sorry, I'm mixing the two up. But I did notice don't they end up on like the Thor's council at some point? They kind of show, you know, we'll see.
I don't know. They might. I don't know.
I'm screwing it all up. We'll see. Looks good. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it at all.
Yes. I mean, when does that come out? Is that still a while, probably? Or is that close to being... No, it's in the fall, right?
Yeah, I think it's like within the next 6 weeks.
Okay. Yeah,
Was that broad enough?
So like I said, I know very little about the whole Justice League thing other than I enjoy it. But, you know, when you were talking, all I could picture is like trying to think of like some like super rich person that we have right now in the world that we could like put in that position of being like Bruce Wayne.
Right.
And you know what kept popping in my head?
Who?
Bill Gates.
Oh, geez.
That would not happen.
No.
But it would be funny to see. Because
Right.
he would go out
Maybe
there one
if
time.
he was
He would go out there one time and try
spreading
to
vaccine,
try and be cool, and then he would just get smashed. And it would be over. Be a short-lived series.
Right? Like on the SpongeBob SquarePants, you know, there's the two people that SpongeBob's always Barnacle Boy.
Oh,
Bill
yeah,
Gates
yeah,
is
yeah.
like Barnacle Boy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. The other two people would be, you know, Mark Cuban or Elon Musk. And with the technologies that Elon Musk is involved in, he's got to have his own little...
Well, he's more Iron Man, I think, than he would be.
He could.
Well, he
potentially could be.
Iron Man has a very, very high IQ, where Elon Musk is a very, very good salesman.
I think he's pretty smart, though.
I think
Could be
he's-
wrong, but I think he's pretty smart.
He's pretty smart.
Well, he's persuasive in his arguments.
Dude, he wrote 3 programs before he was 30 that made him a billionaire.
Well, he wrote them under the direction of other company leaders, so and he had other people helping him. He wasn't the lone programmer.
No.
And a good segue for that is our next movie, Boo 2.
Yeah, Boo 2 looked awesome.
A Medea Halloween? Is that what it was? Medea Halloween. I've never seen any of the Medea movies.
I
Are
caught
they
bits and
good?
pieces of them. Yeah, he's hilarious.
She
Yeah. But
self-identifies as a woman, Scott.
yes,
Let's be respectful.
dude, it looks hilarious. It's straight up.
So it's like a spoof movie, though, kind of like where
it's
they
absolutely
Oh yeah, you have to be in
Halloween
the mood for
spoof
that, though.
movie.
have.
Yeah.
But it's almost like that scary movie type thing, but not quite to that level, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh no, the Wayne brothers way better, but this looks good.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So there was, I tell you, there was a Boo 1.
That I do not know.
Chris?
Give me a moment to look it up.
So how many, I mean, there have been a lot of Medea?
Yeah.
Medea movies?
Yes, and he's got his own like sitcom. It's not a sitcom. What the hell do you call those? See, I don't watch regular television anymore. I don't even know. Like General Hospital, and what are those called? What are those called? Soaps.
Is it soap?
Yeah, he's got his own soap on BET. Something the Greens.
BET. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and that looks pretty good too. I've never seen one.
Okay, I found Boo 2. I'm looking to see if there's a Boo 1.
I'll just put in Boo 1. Or just Boo? Would it just be
Well,
Boo?
I put in Boo, and Boo 2 is the only thing that showed up. No, I'm not seeing a Boo 1.
Well, okay, I'm sorry, but that's a little strange to have a Boo 2, and it's a number 2, like it's like being like a sequel.
Yeah.
But if there's no Boo 1,
I know.
that's...
Maybe it was only released.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Nah.
It says written by him in 2016. It doesn't say he...
What was written by him?
So he
Boo
never...
a Medina... Boo a Medea Halloween 2016.
Oh. Oh. And they made the movie, or he just wrote it?
Well, writer, director, stars Tyler Perry. On the page of the movie, it lists him differently than it did on his own page. So it's IMDb, you know what I mean? Not always perfect.
Nice.
But yeah, it says 2016 it came out, so...
Yeah, this one looks funny.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see that one.
Okay, and last but not least for our trailers, we have one that I think I've talked about half a dozen times. And it comes out next week, thankfully. But it's like I've seen and it's the same trailer over and over and over again. No.
Oh, what the... I want to see Dunkirk. Is that even out? Did we miss it?
We missed it.
We missed it.
We can
missed it.
still go and see it.
Sure we can. We can go today. But the last movie that's been out, like, I don't know, on trailers for like 6 months now is Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
Yeah, they
originally I was kind of excited. I never even really saw the first one.
Yeah.
And I'd seen bits and pieces of it. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll sit down and watch that one so that I can see the sequel.
Yeah. Did you
I don't even want to
watch
see
it?
the sequel now. I've seen this trailer
Right.
400 times, and it's just, I'm pissed off at this point.
Right.
Like, I don't want to see it anymore.
No.
Is it just me? I don't want to see it anymore.
I don't blame you.
I could wait for cable, you know, unless everyone starts raving about it. Only because, yeah, I have seen the trailer too, and it's like, how much more to the movie can there be than all the scenes from the trailer?
Seriously, are they just continuously re-editing this thing?
Yeah.
It's the same scenes over and over again.
Because that's all they've ever
Yeah,
put
they
out
just
on
add
it.
a second here, cut off a second there, put
I
them
don't
out of
even
order.
I don't even think the first one was that good that they needed.
It warranted a sequel?
Well, or the hype that they've now brought forth for the second
Well, it has a
one.
lot of stars in it, I guess, between Jeff Bridges and Chatham. What's his
Yeah,
name?
Tatum.
Channing.
Channing
Tatum
Tatum.
Chandler.
Tatum Channing.
I don't know what his name
They're
is.
reversible.
Big Mike.
Like a jacket.
Big Mike. Actually, yeah.
They absolutely sold this because they're bringing it to America. That's what they did. They took this beautiful British, you know, M13 or whatever, you know.
M13? You mean M6?
Yeah, M6.
M13. Something completely
MI6.
different, Scott.
Oh, yeah, the M13's those. Yes, I'm not even saying anything now.
Alrighty.
But I honestly, at this point, I'm just tired of the stupid trailer. I know it comes out, I think, the 22nd. I don't mean to be promoting it, but just let it be released and be done with.
Yes.
That being said, I'm sure we'll see it.
Yes.
But I'm just angry.
But
just make
with that said, we're going to a first showing, so we don't have to pay full price for it at this point.
Yes. Very true. Very, very true. Matinees are the way to go, people.
Yes,
Truly, honestly.
Absolutely.
So
Cheap theaters.
cheap theater. Well, it's a good theater with the great seats. Oh, I love those seats. Have you had a problem with yours today?
Every time I put my leg up, I'd hit the button and it would start moving around on me.
But it happened like 4 times that I saw.
I know I ended up scooting down, so I'd miss the switch.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, so I think that does it for our trailers. Yes, we did Mark Felt, Marshall, American Made, Jumanji, Justice League, Boo 2, and Kingsman: The Golden Circle. And if you're watching this on replay or demand, down in the description will be the names and links to those trailers for the movies. So if you're interested in any of those, go ahead down there and check it out. So then this leaves us with our actual review of the movie we saw, which was The Hitman's Bodyguard. I'm trying to remember how it all started out now. So, okay. So this is, as the title of this video says, spoiler alert. So we're going to ruin it. That's just how
We're gonna talk
that's
about
just how
it.
we roll. Actually, I kind of liked the beginning. It was very interesting the way that they started out. He's like this really successful person, and beautiful house, beautiful cars,
Straight up arrogant.
$5,000 watch, arrogant as fuck, and And what happens is obviously he's a bodyguard, and he has high AAA whatever rated professional bodyguard, as he keeps saying throughout the movie.
Yes.
So he goes and he has this high class arms dealer, I believe it is, this Japanese guy.
Yes.
And gets it all the way to the plane where he needs to be. The guy gets on the plane, and then all of a sudden he gets killed. And apparently everything just went to shit after that. And they snap forward about 2 years later, I think it said.
Yes.
And he's still doing the bodyguard thing, but he's doing it for
low-level executive lawyers.
Well, still rich, but compare what he was doing, very low level.
Yes.
And he drives like a little, what I don't know, it was a minivan, or if it was like
it was a Ford Fiesta.
Was that the first car too?
Yeah.
Oh, so there was all Fords.
He was always picking a
Ford
Ford.
also sponsored this movie, I think.
Big time.
Yeah. So it just kind of goes from there. He's kind of down and out. He lost his beautiful woman. He lost his beautiful house. He still has his watch, but it's broken and scratched up, and he's driving a beater car.
Which his beautiful woman is an Interpol agent. And he broke his own protocol in his brain, in his routine, and believed that was the reason why.
Blaming her.
Yes, that this Japanese arms dealer got popped.
Right, so he let this eat away at him, and it destroyed the relationship. They don't show that part, but they allude to it, and they kind of discuss it later.
Yes.
So
yeah, we start 2 years later.
We start 2 years later,
Yes.
and what happens is now, and at the time she wasn't an Interpol person, but she was working her way to getting to where she wanted to be. She was still like, I mean, she was part of Interpol, but she wasn't like up in Interpol like she is now or whatever. And he also thinks that she used this as a way for her to
Move up the
raise up
ladder.
the ranks. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But so he's very bitter, very angry.
Which his girlfriend is Elodie Young.
Which I have no idea.
She plays Elektra on that Daredevil series on
Yeah,
Netflix.
it's what you were saying.
She kicks ass. Yeah.
Mm.
She's Elektra in the first Daredevil with the Daredevil, Punisher, and Elektra.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this new, and she's the Weapon in the Defenders.
Right, the Black Sky.
Yeah, she's the Black Sky. So, so she ends up, this is totally everything. But she's great in that too. But
Right.
yeah, she's really good in this movie.
Yeah, no, I was very happy with her casting. I mean, I think she played the part perfectly.
Yeah, she isn't in the movie enough actually, but okay.
Right,
Yeah,
I agree. No, I agree.
you know?
She could have been in a lot more.
Yeah.
But yeah. So where were we? Oh,
And
so,
then, of course, we got our favorite handsome sarcasm boy, would be Ryan Reynolds.
mm-hmm.
You know, as the main character. And then our favorite F-bomb dropper, Samuel L. Jackson. And then the best actor of the 20th century,
Debatable.
Gary Oldman.
Debatable.
Oh, I don't know. He's awesome.
No, he is. He's a good actor. I have
Dracula,
no problem with him as an actor.
Sid and Nancy.
And he plays a really evil fucker.
Oh, he totally
Does it well.
Oh, it's great how he goes from, being the chief of police. He's the chief of police in Batman in the last two Batmans to just this evil fucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He transitions well.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. And it's nothing like Putin. Nothing at all like Putin.
Can you do that? Can you go like that? What?
Yeah, no. Nothing like him. So no, it was. So that's just kind of, they have those scenes to kind of just set up the story of kind of understanding like who he is and his struggle and everything like that. From that point on, the story picks up where now his ex working at Interpol. They're trying to. Okay, so Gary Oldman plays a president of Belarus.
Yes,
that's
and
like I said, he plays this real evil fucker who like kills people and
which is
murders people.
Soviet Union.
Vladislav Dukovich.
Like that. Yeah.
Is that his character's name?
Yeah, Vladislav Dukovich.
Yes.
Say that 5 times fast.
No.
Don't.
And he does some serious ethnic cleansing over there.
Yes,
and this
he
is
does.
what he's on trial for with Interpol.
Yes, he's on trial with Interpol. He's in custody. He's been arrested. He's on trial for these crimes against humanity type of thing. And if they cannot convict him, even though they have people coming up left and right to speak against him, there's no physical proof tying any of these accusations, no tangible evidence.
Yes.
So, and they can only hold him on trial for so long. If they don't get someone to testify with evidence by 5 o'clock on a certain day, within like probably the end of the week or whatever it was, then they're going to have to release him and allow him to continue to be president of Belarus.
Yes.
And that's where Samuel L. Jackson's character comes in.
Who is a killer for hire with some type of conscience, apparently.
Yes.
Yes.
He's a yes.
Yeah. He's a hitman.
He is a hitman. He is. And hence the name Hitman's Bodyguard.
Yes.
So, boy, this is probably not making any sense to you, and I apologize about that. Now that I'm thinking about how
if you've seen it, it makes perfect sense.
Absolutely. So go ahead and see the movie. The end.
And then listen to the podcast.
So he's on trial. And the point is that they have Samuel L. Jackson, who's also in custody, kind of between a rock and a hard place, because they know he has information that he can use to testify against this ex-president. But to do it, they also have his wife in custody for something different or whatever, and she's in a different prison. But
who happens to be Selma Hayek?
Yes. What was that, Scott? Yeah. She does look good.
She does. I only give her 5 more years, but right now she's looking really good.
Okay.
Well, and she's not young, is she? She's like got to be.
I don't know if she's 50, but she's got to be 48.
Hang on a moment. Let me.
So she plays Samuel L. Jackson's wife, and it's actually kind of funny when they kind of have a flashback later on in the movie of how the two met.
Yes,
it's actually a pretty good scene. I won't ruin it for you, but it's well worth the 5 minutes it takes to see that scene.
It's super violent and romantic.
Yes, involves Selma Hayek with broken beer bottles.
She's 51 years of age.
51. Wow.
Yeah, that's why I said.
And she's 5'2".
5'2". Laying down or standing up?
Does it matter? She was born in Mexico in Veracruz.
Ooh.
Isn't that a car or something? Veracruz?
The cruise.
I like to go for a cruise in that car.
Yeah.
Anyways, so back to the movie. You're probably all confused. I'm confused. So they're going to try to transport Sam. They make a deal with Samuel L. Jackson's character that they will release his wife completely free.
Yes.
He'll have to still face his charges, but they'll be lenient or more lenient on his. But they didn't say what they were going to do.
And we never heard what her charges were.
It doesn't really matter.
They're holding her in Amsterdam, too.
Well, they've been living, I think, in Europe doing a lot of these killings.
Well, she was supposed to be innocent, right, according to Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah. She didn't. They made no. They didn't imply at all that she ever was a murderer.
Well, they showed it.
Well, yeah, but that was only that scene.
That
she
was
wasn't
in her
a
own
hitman
country.
or
That's when she was a waitress. Imagine what she does now.
True that.
You know, and not only that, you know, Samuel L. Jackson is saying that, yeah, she was innocent, but he also believes he's not a murderer, even though he's killed 250 people, at least.
Yeah, they always strike some weird reason why they have the right to murder people.
Well, I don't disagree with his. I mean, he only killed bad people, in his opinion, people who are murderers and whatever.
Hence why he didn't take the job with the Gary Oldman character and just happened to be there to take the pictures of this mass cleansing that we find out at the end.
Bodies being dumped in mass graves, yeah.
Yeah, well, we have a picture of him holding a gun to the back of somebody's head, too.
Who's that?
But in the picture, one of the pictures
he executes somebody.
He's ready to execute somebody, yes.
With other dead bodies laying around as well. So.
Yes.
I mean, it clearly draws a picture that.
Yeah. And a bulldozer.
And a bulldozer. Pushing the bodies in a mass grave.
Yes.
Yeah, it happens. God, where the hell were we?
Well, we're back at we're just coming out of them meeting each other.
Right. So what happens at this point is that they need now to get Samuel L. Jackson to The Hague, which is it's not in Amsterdam. I don't know where it's, but somewhere. Is it Germany? Might be in Germany. I think it's Germany.
I think it's in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Oh, could be
but it's right there.
It's
it's right there by the Amsterdam.
It's not far.
Yeah, they didn't really go.
They drove there, so it couldn't have been that far.
No.
Yeah. So they have to transport him, and they do so with Interpol, and that doesn't go real well. They make it about 5 blocks, 10 blocks, and all of a sudden they get jumped by these assassins or army members or whatever they are, mercenaries. that were hired by the Belarus government or part of the Belarus government to destroy this witness because they know this is the only guy who has anything on him.
Yes.
By the way, Hague, that was the name of the city, right?
Well, I think it's the facility.
Yeah, it's The Hague.
The Hague.
It's the international court. That's where all.
Well, it's in Denmark. It's in Denmark.
It's in Denmark. Okay.
Yeah.
Hence the tulips. Well, Amsterdam's in Denmark, right?
No.
Huh? Dutch? Denmark? Amsterdam? Tulips?
Chris?
Wow,
Water?
you're killing me here.
No, we're not killing you. You have a keyboard. Use it. But anyways, so they're trying to transport him from England to The Hague so he can testify.
Amsterdam is the populous municipality of the Kingdom of the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. But even that gets confusing because the Netherlands is a general term for more than one country.
Correct.
So how close is it to?
It's close. It's got to be close.
It's got to be within
Don't
driving
ask me
distance.
for Google directions.
Yeah. I want the options of flying, driving, and biking. So they're in the middle of transporting him. When they begin to transport him, he doesn't make it far. Everyone gets blown up and killed. And there's a bunch of carnage. The only people to survive are Ryan Reynolds' ex, who's now in Interpol.
Yes.
And then Samuel L. Jackson.
Elonia Young.
Yes, Elonia Young. There we go. Elonia Young. They are the only survivors. They're able to escape and get to a safe house.
Yes.
So she feels that Interpol has been compromised, or they realize that it has been. So she doesn't feel comfortable handing him back over to Interpol. So she calls the only person in the world that she can trust to do this job, and that's Ryan Reynolds. So Ryan Reynolds comes on the scene, and that's pretty actually humorous in and of itself.
Yes, the banter between the three. Well, Ryan Reynolds delivers some funny lines. He's got it down. He's got great timing.
Well, he's Deadpool.
Right.
So they all come together in this.
Does Deadpool end up in League of Justice later? God, I hope so. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Right? Okay. Sorry.
So Ryan Reynolds comes, finds out who she wants him to transport. He freaks out because this guy's
a murderer.
Right. He's a big time murderer, hitman from around the world.
He knows who he is.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Big time.
So, anyways, at this point, so they kind of fight when they first see each other because they both hate each other because, they're enemies essentially in life, in their careers. Things kind of calm down. She leaves to go back to Interpol, and then Ryan Reynolds is supposed to secretly transport Samuel L. Jackson's character to this international court.
Right, which another layer of that is Ryan Reynolds has staked his claim on saving people from people like Samuel L. Jackson.
Exactly, right.
Yes.
Right. That's a better way to put it than I put it.
Yeah.
Who some of which are murderers and gun runners and drug dealers and... Sure, they need bodyguards, sure.
Yes.
Doesn't seem noble when you're saving people like that, but yeah.
No, that's also another layer to the onion. That is true. Because, Reynolds tries to come off a little righteous about what he does, but he is protecting scumbags at the same time.
Well, right. And later on, in fact, Samuel Jackson kind of throws it back in his face when they're on the ferry traveling to Amsterdam, and he tells him, is it more righteous for me to kill murderers and bad people or you to protect them?
Right.
Kind of throws it back in his face and said,
but then Ryan's, because what they asked, he asked him how many people he's killed. And Reynolds is like, what, one?
Well, nobody. He said it first and then.
Yeah.
Right. But then. Yep.
Yeah, good movie.
Good movie. Well, okay, so. But they're in this time when they leave the safe house to the point where they get to where they need to be, there's a lot of little things that happen. A lot of chases with the mercenaries, killing of people, almost getting killed, almost getting caught, killing more people. At one point, he stops by to visit his wife in prison to bring her some flowers. It's very sweet. Yeah, but
he leaves some. Oh, there wasn't
tulips.
Not.
They are tulips.
I know, but that wasn't the flower. She said that was her.
No. He said the different name, and she goes, "No, tulips." Remember, she yelled at him,
okay.
and then he showed up at tulips.
He did,
and he put them underneath the big clock where he knew her view was at.
Yes.
So that was very sweet.
Very sweet.
Yeah. Chris, you want to add anything?
No, you guys are doing pretty good so far.
Okay. So anyways, I'm telling you, there were so many scenes where people were being chased. Oh, it was a great scene where they get close to where they need to be, and Samuel Jackson gets into the boat.
Yes.
And then Ryan Reynolds is in the motorcycle.
Yes.
And then there's just mass chaos of murderers and policemen and everyone chasing each other and shooting each other. It is pretty fantastic. And even the setup of that scene, the beginning of the scene where he's sitting at the little what do you call those things, like a booth, but like
Doing shots,
complaining to the bartender about his miserable life and this jackass he's got to try to help, and
Right.
it's a really
and
funny
carnage
scene.
going on around him,
Blowing
as
up,
they're-
people screaming,
Yes.
fires, gunfire.
Yes.
Absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant. And,
Brilliantly done.
actually, that chase scene through the canals of Amsterdam was awesome in the boat.
Yeah.
I have never, and I might be wrong, but I've never seen a Great Triumph motorcycle. If I was going to have a street bike for Amsterdam, that was set up perfect for that.
Oh, that's what kind of bike it was?
That was
Yeah.
a nice looking bike.
Yeah, with bar guards on it and everything. It was a good bike. And I've never seen somebody jump the motorcycle into the canal, onto the roof of one of those long
Tour,
taxi cab thingies that they have, and then proceed to jump up on one of the bridges. That was a first for me,
That was pretty cool.
and that was pretty cool.
That was
Yeah.
pretty cool. It was pretty BS, but that was pretty cool.
Well, isn't everything in the movies really BS after all?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I mean-
Television in general is BS.
Well, and that's what it's for. I mean, it's
Yes.
for fantasy. It's for living outside of the norm.
Yes.
Yeah, but honestly, I would have to say that I think that scene alone. I mean, if the rest of the movie sucked, that whole 7 minutes, and it was a long scene, that was well done. And I mean, that's well worth watching the movie just for that scene. And then you add in a lot of the other stuff. I think it was well worth it.
I laughed at the fact, I always do, that, the bad guys are shooting at Samuel L. Jackson and just unloading clip after clip after clip.
Sure.
And then he just pulls out his gun and in one shot, hits him.
Boom,
But it
Yeah.
wasn't even a
boom.
gun; it was a flare.
Well, in this case, that was, the very end, it ended up being a flare.
Yeah.
And man, do those flares do some serious damage, apparently.
Yeah, but and there were some other fight scenes before that, and even after that.
Even
There
the
was-
hand-to-hand combat
Oh
stuff
yeah,
was awesome.
the one where Ryan Reynolds' character finally gets to kill that mercenary who's been like the leader of the mercenaries in the hardware shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the chain
And
the
humor
guy-
through that whole bloody
Yeah.
conflict.
Yeah, it was well done.
He's holding them with the guy's wrapped up with a chain. He's bent over a shelving unit, and the two shopkeepers are on the floor cowering. And he's like, "Can you kick the gun over to me?" And the guy's like, "No, no, no,"
Yeah.
And
Well, you don't know if he's the good guy or the bad guy in this
That's
situation.
Exactly.
Well, that is true, but still, at that point, you gotta kind of give him the gun or use it on him, one of the two.
Right.
Right.
And
Yeah.
he kicks it over, and we got 4 shots, and we're on to the next adventure.
See.
The camera cut angle
And how did Samuel L. Jackson
to know he
would
was there.
be there?
It's
Yeah,
a bloody
that was-
movie.
I know it's a movie, but still.
It's a
the
small town.
Yeah.
He just followed the gunfire.
Yeah.
small town of 1.3 million. But yeah,
He's got an
he
apple
figured out
finder.
that would be the exact place.
He's got what's got?
What's that finder app?
Oh,
on
like
there?
friend finder or
Yeah.
something. Find friends.
Yeah.
He has Apple.
He's got an
You
Apple
can't get away your
products.
trace. Once you got Apple, you're
Apple's
screwed.
hijacked you at birth.
That's why I went to Android.
You can get hacked by North Korea on your phone.
Well, I plan on it. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So there's lots of violence, lots of bang bangs, lots of cool car chases.
Humor through the whole thing.
Yeah, and actually I think that's a great mix because you can't have just all action and you can't
No.
have just a pure comedy, obviously, being kind of what the movie's about. And it was a nice blend, not even just like 50-50, like in the sense of like, okay, here's some violence and action and then here's a funny scene. It's like it's mixed in with the scenes to give
Absolutely.
it some levity, so you're
Right.
not so intense.
And could they do that movie with 2 other characters?
No.
2 other actors?
No.
Right?
Maybe one might be replaceable, but both no.
No.
I mean, I can't even
like
think.
you couldn't do it with Jackie Chan and
Can't do
Kevin,
shit with Jackie Chan,
And
no
what's
offense.
that other short guy, the comedian Kevin
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. Like that wouldn't work. Kevin Hart and Jackie Chan in in that movie.
No.
No.
Don't even say that.
No.
Bad Scott.
No,
Bad.
right? I know.
But are there any other actors who could do it?
Who can pull off what Ryan Reynolds does?
Nobody.
No, there isn't. Right?
I'm not saying
Oh,
I'm a
I'm
fanboy,
sure there's a
but
few
when he
people
plays a
who
role, he plays a role.
Seth Rogen can't do it.
Oh, fuck no.
No, really, Seth Rogen came to mind to replace Ryan Reynolds.
He did a little bit.
No,
And then what?
no, Scott, no.
No.
I can't think of
Whatever
anybody.
you're drinking, lay off it.
Well, whatever. He was all right in that Green Hornet movie as a But anyways,
No.
I mean, the thing is, because the problem is that you have to have not only like the comedic timing and that ability, and his personality and charisma, but the physical capabilities, which really limits a lot of things. Because some
Yes.
people are very physical and have no ability to either act or do comedy or both.
Right.
Or people are good actors and comedians, but they're not physical people.
No.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds, right now is like in the prime to do all these roles.
Right.
You know, and it's great casting from that aspect. And Samuel, and the thing is, like at first I was a little nervous because Samuel L. Jackson is not a spring chicken.
nah.
And he's
you
supposed to
can
play-
see that when he's running around.
But you usually, but they're playing it off like, okay, here's his hitman, but he can do all these cool things and jump over stairs, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But then he does it; it kind of makes it believable.
Yeah,
but
with
he
a
did
bullet
it
in his
He
leg.
was shot in the leg, though,
I
too,
know.
at the beginning of the
know.
movie.
Right.
So it's like, he's doing all that, and his leg has been shot. Well, that wound is going to open back up. It's going to start bleeding again. It's like,
Should have.
how much make-believe BS do you want me to take? You know what I mean?
That's why we pay the. How much was those tickets? 11.
Not even. Like,
Oh, they were like 6 something a piece because we went
we
for
went to the
Matinees?
early- we went to
Yeah.
the matinee.
oh, we
Good,
only
good,
go to the
good.
matinee.
I know.
Matinee only.
Yeah, I went to the It yesterday matinee. That was awesome.
You did.
I did.
Okay.
So you guys see it, and then we'll do one.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck yeah.
Okay.
It seems like actually, I have to see the first one.
Well, if you want my Amazon thing, I'll give it to you. I
got
it
my
for
Amazon
the month.
thing.
Well, I have it for a month.
But for Amazon, what?
Prime.
I have Prime.
Yeah, I know, but you would be able to access it through my Prime and watch it because I have it for a month. I bought it for a month, rented it.
But okay.
You can pay $3.99. That's okay. You pay $3.99.
$3.99 for what?
You got to rent it for a month.
It's
on
a rental. It's not
Yeah.
included. I'm sorry.
know,
I wasn't picking up
yeah.
what you're saying. I'm like, because you were saying Amazon Prime. I'm like, I got Prime. Like,
Dude,
How old is Samuel L. Jackson, by the way?
I'm going
older?
to say 62.
I'm going to ask again. How old is Samuel L. Jackson?
47. I'm just lowballing. Yeah, that's all.
That's pretty low balling.
No, he's got to be like what? 60, 65?
6?
69?
Yeah. No, I
Damn.
believe it.
That man
Yeah.
can
I
move
believe
around
it.
for a 69-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 42.
And
42?
he got a 51-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh, Selma Hayek. Yeah, well.
Yeah. She
That'll
does
keep
not
you
look
up.
like a 51-year-old or whatever.
No, she does not.
No.
She's on the verge.
But didn't she like marry like a billionaire? Didn't she?
She had been.
Or did she get divorced?
I don't know because I don't know because
Yeah,
she was.
you're not up on your TMZ.
No, never.
Yeah.
No,
Gotcha.
I mean the last time I thought she was the last time I thought about her was she was dating the guy from who played the original Hulk.
Lou Ferrigno?
No, not that Hulk. The newer Hulk.
What
Oh,
did
the
you
second
say?
Hulk movies. I'm sorry, it wasn't even the original. The second Hulk movies.
Wait, it was after Ed Norton?
Ed Norton.
She was dating Ed Norton?
Oh yeah, they for a
that
long
skinny
time.
little son of a bitch?
Yeah, back when she was
Oh,
in
he
her
gives us hope.
prime,
He
dude.
gives us
oh,
hope.
Yeah. Back in the prime.
Remember when she did that movie with God, what's his name now? The guy from Friends. Chandler Bing. What's his
Yeah.
what the hell's his name?
But it was like an old Western.
No. He played a movie where she needed a green card, so they got married, but then they actually ended up falling in love by the end.
Really?
Wasn't it called Green Card?
Was it called Green Card? I'm not good with names.
There's tons of those green card movies.
But but what the hell's his name?
Yeah.
Oh, my-
Matthew Perry.
Matthew Perry. Thank you. God, it's gonna drive me nuts.
That's the thing I have to remember this time. I come up with Matthew Perry.
Matthew Perry.
Yeah. Which The Odd Couple was actually pretty good.
Oh, did they cancel it?
I think so.
Oh, that sucks. And I like the other guy that was on there too. His weird friend.
No, he was the captain in 9/11 or Reno 911.
Oh, yeah.
Which I had my buddy drive through Reno the other way on to San Francisco, and I'm like, dude, don't stop in Reno. And he drove into Reno, and he called me 20 minutes later, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to keep going.
Are you looking up that movie, Chris?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
looking up
No, I'm just
Man-
making sure. Just making sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know.
Okay, so now all the action adventure stuff is gone. Great fight scenes.
But there was
bullets,
it's not even all gone.
carnage, and now we're trying to get from the Amsterdam to the Hague. Right?
Close enough though. You got it right.
Right.
So right.
And we're choosing a car at this point.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
And we're into another
Ford
commercial.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds likes to keep his movements low key.
Yes.
So he has a choice between a Jaguar and like a Ford
and a Cadillac. It was a Cadillac SV4.
It was called Fools Rush In with Matthew Perry from 1997. And it's got him and Selma Hayek.
Good movie.
97. I think
good year.
I think we were like 23, man.
Yeah, because I was.
No, we were like 21.
Yeah, I was 23.99.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Cow.
Yeah.
No wonder that was blurry year.
I mean, year.
Yeah.
What decade?
3 years. I'm just coming out of the haze.
So well, the thing is, the action doesn't stop there because for them to get from Amsterdam. Oh fuck! So no,
I think we stepped up though. We went from a Ford Fiesta to a Focus now.
Was it a Focus?
4-door Focus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that and then that's some crazy. And actually,
the scene where they're leaving the parking garage is actually hilarious.
It's really funny
because Ryan Reynolds loses his shit,
right? And then smashes it
because
he
underestimates the power of the Ford
Focus. Exactly.
Many drivers
to
wish
the
they had that actual
exit bar,
experience.
hit something,
and
the
power
airbags
for
go
their
up.
money
Oh, sorry,
spent.
Chris, I couldn't hear you. What?
I said many drivers wish they had that actual experience and power for their money spent on a Ford Focus.
Sure.
Yeah, he got some.
Well, he got
weird
the turbo.
Over. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he got air on all
they call
four
it
wheels.
It's an Eco.
Eco.
Ford's Eco.
Hey, but it demonstrated the airbags working pretty good.
Yeah, except for they didn't get all of the smoke that usually comes with the airbags.
Exactly. Yeah, the talcum powder or whatever.
Yes.
But wasn't that all kind of before what we were talking about with the blue car and they get all beat up before they go to leave?
Yeah, they smash the crap out of the car before they even leave.
No, but what I'm saying is didn't we already kind of cover that section with the chasing?
No, now we're going. Yeah, and then
now
we're
the guy
going
now
controlled
they're
to the
on
chain.
circle.
That already happened.
No, because they went in the BMW. They went to.
No, they ended up in that. They switched positions. Samuel L. Jackson drove. They take off on the expressway.
And they get
then
chased.
2 or 3 guys are like, "Oh, that's them."
Right.
And then they do all that other crap.
Oh, right, that is.
And then
you're right. You're
jump.
right.
They jump the car. No, they drive right in to the police, right at the Hague.
Well, but that's after they get through the big chase scene.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
And more
absolutely.
shooting.
There's a barricade set up around the entrance
there's more
to the
shooting
Hague, and that's why.
and all of that stuff that goes on.
There's lots of shooting.
Yes.
Lots of bullets.
Yeah.
Lots of explosions. Lots of people getting killed.
Yes.
Not very graphic or anything, but still a lot of people getting killed.
And there's nuns.
There were no. That's way back, but that's hilarious.
Oh, I forgot about the nuns.
Yeah.
Singing nuns.
French singing nuns.
Singing nuns.
And it's corny.
Or were they
Yeah,
French or
it is.
Italian? Because when he sing wasn't he speaking Italian to them? Call them like ciao, bello, like that's Italian.
Yeah, that's Italian.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Italian.
Yes, it
They
is.
were Italian nuns.
I don't know.
I guess so.
Aren't they all Italian nuns?
Yeah, at heart.
So, what do you want to say now?
You know what? I just realized.
What's that?
Where did they start at? They drove from somewhere to Amsterdam. Where did they start?
They start in England. That's where the whole thing started.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
England's Interpol?
Coventry.
Okay, so then
Interpol's all of you.
So they would have driven through France.
Yeah.
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 This was later on, right before
So
they got
that
to
was
Amsterdam.
the French countryside.
Well, no, but it was. But I'm saying the nuns themselves were speaking Italian.
Okay.
I don't, because they travel all throughout Europe. I mean, Europe's not very big.
Right.
I mean, it's like every country's like a state here in the United States.
Absolutely.
So for them to take a road trip from
Germany is
Italy
the side of Wisconsin.
Italy to England is something they would do on a normal basis.
Yes.
Right. And with the whole European Union, you can travel. You get one ID. You don't even need to go and check in, and visas, no stamps, no nothing. It's like, that's how it is now.
Temporarily.
should
yeah.
Okay, so right
The
now,
way it
okay,
should
hold
be.
on, guys. We're already 55 minutes, so let's
Okay.
get. So they get to the destination, the Hague,
Yes.
where there's all these army people and Interpol people,
Police.
police. But yeah, So they get there, they get inside literally with seconds to spare. Literally like 1 second.
Which I find so funny. They got a guy on trial for crimes against humanity.
Like a war crime.
Yeah, and if this guy shows up
There's a
minute
time
late, he
limit.
gets
Yeah,
to walk
exactly.
out of there.
Yeah. And actually, honestly, you want to know
Freaking
something?
movies.
Earlier on, when they kept making reference to that, I kept thinking they were going to be 1 minute late, and that Samuel L. Jackson was just going to take a gun out and shoot him in the head. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Oh, right.
But
Actually,
it
that could have been. You're right. That could have been done both ways.
That's what I thought it was going to be, and then they actually got in there by a second. I'm like, oh, how's this going to play out now?
Right.
Right. So we have that. So he makes it there. He gets sworn in. He starts to testify, and he has some secret website with the pictures of the evidence uploaded because he never gave it to Interpol. He didn't want anyone to corrupt anything.
And what was his password for the website? That was awesome.
Oh, the president's name.
Dukovich is a dick.
Yeah.
And Dick is
all
in
caps except for Dick.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I gave him a little dick.
Good. That was good writing. So
Yeah. And at that point, somebody tried poisoning and killing off Mukovich.
well, that was beforehand.
I know, and so the earlier footage we see is a normal face, and then later on he has this spotted, messed up
It's
from
like
the poison.
from the
yeah.
poison.
Yeah, from the poison. But
Like
it's
what they tried to do to that guy for real.
well in Russia.
Yeah.
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 Has nothing to do with Putin. No,
Putin didn't do
He was
it.
completely innocent.
Yeah, Putin is an innocent man.
It's completely innocent.
All politicians.
He's a good man.
Don't nuke us,
All
Putin.
politicians are innocent.
He's a good man.
Yeah. No, he's not a good man.
Scott speaks for himself. His opinions do not reflect everyone of the show.
They're hacking us right now.
All right. So he makes it there. He testifies, and then the guy realizes he's busted. This President Dick, whatever his name is, Little Dick.
Yes.
So he stands up and
He has a plan C.
I thought it was a plan B.
Plan B.
Really is kind of a plan C though.
It
right?
is plan C.
Yeah. So he has a plan
It's
C.
actually plan E.
Yeah, right.
Plan explosions.
All right, let's keep going.
So he stands up, tells everyone, yes, this is what's going on, but it's my country. I'm sovereign. We can do whatever we want. Piss off. And I'm going to go back
president.
there. Yeah, I'm the president. And
Do
he's
whatever I want in my
whatever.
world.
And it's in his head. You know, he's this delusional person thinking he's God or whatever. So his plan is to escape. They have a truck come in on the outside, blow up an explosion to distract everyone.
Which I thought was pretty cool, the way, because those barriers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you get over those barriers that they've now put in the world?
Right.
They got these steel posts or concrete posts, and you can't just drive a car in between them. So at some point, they flipped the semi, so it landed, another 16 feet, so 53 feet
yeah,
or
so the
48
trailer
feet plus.
flew over and yeah.
Into the crowd of people that then they detonated an explosion that blew up the corner bit of that particular building that they were holding the trial in.
The Hague.
Yeah. And then he had insiders, which we knew he had insiders in the police and in Interpol. It's amazing how people will do the stupidest stuff for money. Like,
it is.
That guy's like, you're going to give me my money you owe me, right? Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to sell out this whole Interpol society for some money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then he, at this point, makes it up some stairs. And Ryan Reynolds, and before that, Ryan Reynolds takes a bullet for Samuel L. Jackson, which we learned earlier that Ryan Reynolds has never been shot, maybe grazed by a bullet
From Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson, because the rock slipped, and he takes a shot to the liver, and
I think it was intestines, but yeah.
yeah, it's that
liver's
area.
there, yeah.
Liver's
the liver,
actually
right?
higher up underneath the rib cage, but let's not get technical.
Okay, so maybe 6 inches below the liver,
About 4.
so it's survivable.
Let's go.
And
She won't be eating spicy foods for a while.
he turns to Samuel L. Jackson and says, "Now go do what you're meant to do."
Right, and Samuel Jackson chases him or follows him, his trail. He's leaving some blood and stuff because I'm not sure. Was he bloody?
Yeah, he gets shot in the leg, didn't he? Didn't he get shot in the
No.
courthouse at some point?
No, Dukovich did not.
No, you
He
maybe
had
not.
blood in his hand. Who was that from?
It was carnage.
Could be. Yeah, because he killed someone. He stole a gun from a police officer and shot him. So maybe that was from that. But he follows him and he was up to the rooftop, starts chasing him across.
Yes.
And
Samuel L. Jackson takes out like 3 other people. There's a huge, beautiful helicopter involved.
Medical helicopter.
I laugh at the fact that they're like, what, 30, 60 feet from each other, and he running through air conditioning systems, and he misses every single time.
oh, the guy shooting at Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, and then Samuel L. Jackson shooting at Gary Oldman. He misses, yeah.
But they had to draw the scene out.
Well, of course.
And it's a movie.
Yes.
So.
Right.
There's
but
that.
he can shoot a flare gun like no other man I've ever seen.
That is true.
You know?
And he can detect where Ryan Reynolds is even when he doesn't know.
ESPN.
ESPN?
Yeah.
So you want to finish it up?
Okay, so then they're on the roof. At some point, Samuel Jackson turns his attention to the helicopter pilots, and he pops them off. We get the helicopter crashing in the background, which was totally cool because Samuel L. Jackson is walking up to Gary Oldman's character like a total badass that he has cornered on the building. There's nowhere for him to go. I think he's shot in the leg at this point.
He was, I think, yeah.
And the helicopter blows up behind him, and parts and fire come up Samuel Jackson's back. And then there's some conversation between Samuel L. Jackson and Gary Oldman. And at some point, Gary Oldman's shot in the leg. He tells Gary Oldman to get up on the ledge. And then the last scene is him Samuel L. Jackson puts his big old boot right in the chest of Gary Oldman, and Gary Oldman falls to his death.
Yeah, but the only problem I have with that scene is Gary Oldman, and why do they have to fall on cars? Why every time do they have to like cave in the roof of a car? It's the only car in that entire area, but yet it's there just for him.
How did that car make it past
I
the
bet you-
barriers?
I bet you it was a
don't
Chevy.
put any more cars
It was a
there,
BMW.
Hollywood. How about we just have the body go splat? You know, how about that?
That's messier.
Well,
it's harder.
that's what it is. I think it saves on the impact blood.
Well, just everything. I mean, just the entire scene.
And then the people walking into the scene are at eye level.
Right.
You
True.
know, because they're like, wait, what, Chris, what is the character's name?
Dickovich?
Yeah. That's Dickovich. That's Dickovich.
Right. Right.
That's
exactly.
Dickovich. And then they all kind of... So, in reality, they should have grabbed him, the mob, and tore him apart. And then went... strung his pieces all over the place, but
Well, I think they were somewhere trying to coming into him, but they kind of cut away at that point.
yeah.
And it is kind of funny at that point because after all this goes on with all the confusion, Samuel L. Jackson could leave. He could take off.
Could have.
Now he comes back, checks on Ryan Reynolds, makes sure he's okay. And once he realizes he is, you know, the people are like, okay, well, we have to arrest Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson's like, okay, arrest me. And Ryan Reynolds is like, why don't you want to run? Or whatever, and he's like, because I want to make sure they release my wife first, and then besides, I could break out of prison later. And then sure enough, they go to the next scene. They show a picture of Samuel L. Jackson saying this man escaped from prison, and then show to a scene which had been a same bar earlier, which was in Bogota.
No, it was in Mexico City called La Cucaracha.
But I don't think it was in Mexico City.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
No, okay, I think
it was like in Juarez,
I don't remember the
Mexico.
name of the town, but it was a different country.
No,
there.
it was, and then it was Spanish speaking, but I don't think it was Mexico. But could
La Cucaracha.
Well, you got all the
I'm
South
sure it was
America
Mexico.
from
right,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
No, right, absolutely. So he
Which was his wife's nickname for him?
yes,
La Cucaracha,
Yes.
which is cockroach.
yes,
The cockroach.
that was her pet name for him.
Yes,
Kind of creepy,
it is.
but it's Selma Hayek, so it's okay.
Yes.
So they actually end up hooking up back there, and then they go off to
We have beautiful slow dance scene
Yes,
with
with-
just carnage going on around them.
people lit on
right
fire,
in the middle of a
fighting,
bar fight.
standing. And then that little
Yeah.
guy he like jumped up. And
That was the funniest thing. He hikes that guy, right? He climbing Mount Everest.
He does. It was brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's the best.
It was
Some of the best
and
parts
then,
of the movie.
You know, and then they roll credits. So
Yes.
that was the movie.
Yeah, we don't really. I mean, we assume that Ryan Reynolds gets back together with his love.
That's part 2.
Oh God, there better not be a part 2.
There's got to be a part 2. If there's any success to this movie, there'll be a part 2.
No,
What?
because I can already forget part 1, so I don't want.
What they're gonna
part
do
two.
it in like Shy Gun or something?
Shy Gun?
Yeah. What is it?
Shogun?
Shogun. Yeah, like Shogun was the
No.
#2 movie with Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson. Whatever. Anyways, go on.
So no, that's it. I mean, that's the movie in a nutshell.
Yes.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory. We did a terrible job doing it, but it's, the thing is, the whole point of these reviews. Well, no,
It was
seriously.
a little bit of a difficult
Well, hold on,
one because
hold
I'm
on.
realizing how much is missing
And you can't
right
keep
now.
track of all the violence
Yeah,
and
we
the
missed a
fighting and
lot
the
with
car
John,
chases and the
yeah.
carnage.
Yes.
But the thing is, the whole point of these reviews is not to tell you what the movie's about. It's to get you interested in seeing them.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Right.
And if we've done that, then we've done our job.
Yeah.
And if you think we've done that, then let us know down in the comments. Or if you think we haven't, let us know down in the comments.
Yeah. And if you
give
want
us
to
a
pay
feedback.
for us to go see the movies, text us.
Really?
Buy us popcorn. That'll work too.
Yeah.
You
so-
get a text from Putin, you might want to ignore that.
Ooh. Kevin's gonna get Russian texts.
Putin's the best. What are you talking
for
about?
your
He's
movie,
he's great.
comrade.
He's fine. What are you talking about? He's an amazing human being. So, anyway, let's do our closing reviews.
The real
our
American.
our personal views of the movie. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was well worth seeing. I know I wouldn't necessarily go to a movie theater again to see it, but I would watch it on cable if it was on again or when it's on in the future. I recommend it. If you enjoy action movies, comedies, it's right up your alley. It'd be perfect. Out of 4 stars, I would give it, for what kind of movie it was, 3.
I'm in the same boat. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 4 stars. Because it's full of action the whole time, and I couldn't stop laughing. In the middle of the action, it was good. Yeah.
So 3?
I give it 3.
All right, I only give it 2.5.
Oh, you gave
And
it
that
a
is,
half.
for me, that is generous. And it's not
Yeah.
because it's like I don't expect it to be some blockbuster, but it
doesn't seem to be leading up to a blockbuster
It's a good
now.
date movie. It's, even for older people, it'd be a good date movie because there's
Yes.
a lot of older music in there.
Yes.
Chris, just for the record, you know we weren't on a date, right?
Yeah, brother, I'm pretty well aware, brother, that we were not on a date.
Well,
brother.
What are you
Scott-
talking
Scott
about?
was
We
there.
were on a
Scott
date.
was on the other side of
I
you,
wasn't on a
Kevin. See,
date.
I, got
I was
no idea
chaperoning.
what-
Hello, haven't you ever seen the Duggars? No
Yes.
touching.
No touching.
Yeah.
You sat in the middle of
Okay,
us.
that works for me. Anyway, so yeah, 2.5 stars. It'd be a good date movie. It's got, a lot of action in there. It's got some new stuff, but it's got some plot holes, and it's Hollywood, so there's so much make believe in there. I don't know what else to say about the movie other than I did not enjoy it as much as you two did.
Really? Oh, yeah. Well, we noticed you gave
I
it
got
a
a
half
few
a star
laughs
less.
out of it, but yeah, that was about it. Is that for entertainment purposes, or you're taking your date out or your wife or whatever? Fine, 2.5 stars, but no
Right.
more than that.
You won't leave the movie going, what the hell? Well, you'll leave the movie laughing.
Right.
Yeah, and then you
A
wake
little
up
bit
the
of
next day and you won't
romance.
remember the name of the movie, let alone what you saw.
Dude, I have trouble with that anyway.
So as always,
Too much aluminum
pay
as
attention
a
to my
kid.
review and to Scott's review, and not so much to Chris's review. Just kidding. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for today. We're going to be watching the 52 movies, and we're going to be reviewing all 52 from number 52 all the way down to 1. Not exactly sure when that's going to start. I would probably hope in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And
I want to hear comments. Other people watch it. Shoot small clips. Post them to the comment section.
Oh, and just a couple pieces of information from earlier. Justice League comes out November 17th. And the Hitman's Bodyguard's only been out 1 month now. It's taken in 70 million domestic, 50 million foreign.
Wow.
But the weekend count still isn't over yet. It's, midday Sunday.
That's
But
crazy. It only
the
was...
production budget, was only $30 million.
So it made a profit, but
Yeah, but
Damn.
get this, the biggest overseas market was South Korea with $9 million.
Which was crazy. But there's a lot of military in South Korea right now. American military.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess maybe that would be where they spend all their money this weekend.
Sure. That's
Right.
what it seems like.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they probably laugh their ass off there too.
All right. So if that's it, then we're going to let everyone go. So,
All right.
All right. So we'll do another one soon. And again, I think what we're going to start doing ahead of time is we can actually plan these events and put them up as events on the YouTube page. So if you subscribe to the channel, then you'll get the notifications that there's an event coming up, and
Yes.
it'll remind you when they're going to start. If you ever want to watch them live, join in with the comments. Please make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And that's it for me. So I'm going to say bye. Scott?
I'll see ya.
Chris?
Oh, I'm still here?
Yes, you are.
All right, have a good weekend. We'll see you at the movies.
Later.